Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock market's opening action. Well, yeah, there's a two-pronged happiness that the markets are cheering right in the opening trade. We opened with a sharp gap up today following the positive cues, and of course, all of that resulted in the better than estimated US inflation data. What a soaring start we've seen today. The Sensex soaring over 500 points as well. The Nifty opening well above 17,650 odd mark as well, and nearing that 16,700 mark right now. And of course, there's festive cheer back home. It's Raksha Bandhan that is being celebrated. So, good wishes to all of you for that as well. Let's get down to what are the details in the stock markets today. So, in the morning trade, what you're actually looking at right now is that the US markets ended on a higher note. We also saw a good opening for the Asian markets, and that trickled down onto the Singaporean Nifty index, indicating a gap up start for the Indian markets today. Look at what the Nifty is looking like. It's 17,682.8% up in trade, 150 point of a jump in the early trade right now. The market breadth is favoring the bulls at this point with 45 gains to 5 declines at this moment. Which are the top gainers that you're looking at in the stock markets today? It's Tech Mahindra that's leading the charts on the Nifty. 2.5% up. IndusInd Bank, Wipro, Coal India, and Asian Paints, all of these up by 1.5 to 3% odd. On the losing side, you have Tata Consumer Products, the Apollo Hospital stock. Also, some of the metals pack like Hindalco and Tata Steel are down in trade, and Bajaj Auto that's seen declining. So these are the losers at this point in time, but definitely good green screen that you can actually see across the board. Be it the broader markets, the mid cap and the small cap indices, they're all up by 0.8, 0.6%, or the India VIX is down by 3.3%. So definitely below that 19 odd mark, supporting the sentiments on the street in the morning trade. All the sectors are in the green, led by definitely gains in the PSU banking space. That's up 2%. Or the IT index is sharply recovered from yesterday's down move. So you've seen a 1.7% uptick on that one. Private banks are not left behind, 1.2% uptick right there. Financial services also in an upward swing of 1.2%. The realty pack is up by 1% odd as well. The 0.5% uptick you can actually see on the auto pack as well. And the FMCG is slightly up in trade. The metals are flat with a positive bias in the early trading action, but it's all green screen and the markets are building on to the early morning gains. You can now see a 0.9% of a jump, 158 point of a raise. The rise you can actually see on the Nifty 50 at this point in time. What are the other details, the stocks that you should watch out for? Today, of course, there'll be a whole host of stocks that will be coming out with their numbers. The companies, Apollo Hospitals will be on focus. Aurobindo Pharma, Bata India, Bharat Forge, Page Industries, these companies will be reporting their quarterly earnings. Oil India is going to be in focus. The petroleum company has reported a consolidated net profit of 2,800 crore rupees for the quarter ended June. IRCTC, that means the Indian Railway Catering Tourism Corporation. The PSU has actually reported a net profit of nearly 250 crore rupees as against 87 crores in the corresponding quarter in the previous fiscal. So you can actually see a recovery happening from the down of COVID levels. The revenue stood at 852 crore rupees. Keep an eye out on that stock as well and on the subsidiaries. Now, Metropolis Healthcare. The company has reported a net profit of 33 crore rupees, which is a 55% decline from a year ago period. The stock may be reacting on the downward side because of the disappointment on the net profit front. Coal India, the company has reported a net profit of 8,832 crore rupees. The revenue for Coal India for this quarter has come in at a jump of 39% at 35,092 crore rupees. The margin stood higher at almost 35% as well compared to the 19% odd that we saw in the last year's quarter too. PB Fintech, that's the stock that is in focus of Policy Bazaar parent company. The insurance company announced a 113% jump in its annual revenue on the back of a 50% growth in insurance premiums in the first quarter of financial year 2023. The company has reported a revenue growth of 505 crore rupees, up from 238 crore rupees seen back on a year-on-year basis. Tata Power is in focus today. The company and the JP Infra Mumbai Private Limited will now jointly install a 60 electric vehicle charging point all across JP Infra's projects in Maharashtra. That's a big positive coming in for those who are looking at the ancillary play of the electric vehicles as well. SAIL, the Steel Authority of India, is going to be in focus. The company has reported an 88% jump in the profit of the quarter ended June 2022. So you can actually see a whole host of metal names coming back in focus in today's trading session as well. Zydus Life, also, the company reported earnings to the tune of 11.7%. On the declining front, when you talk about the consolidated net profit from the April to June quarter, so that stock could be under pressure. But definitely all across the board, you can actually see sharp gains coming in onto the market among individual stocks. The shares of Eicher Motors has now hit a 52-week high at 32.56 rupees per share, after the auto major reported a twofold jump in consolidated net profit. Apart from that as well, delivery shares were down 5% yesterday. They're down 6.5% yet again, because the losses for the company had widened. So sale has in fact shed 2% on reporting a 79% fall in Q1 profit. So Steel Authority of India is down in trade. Eicher Motors has moved about 1% up on the Q1 pat, really jumping right there. That's the kind of Mazagon Dock from the shipyard business has spurted over 8% today after posting a 121% yearly rise in the Q1 profit. So that stock is in focus. SpiceJet, of course, the aviation companies, that's going to be in the focus on today's trading session. SpiceJet has flown 4% in the early trade. The government has decided to remove the airline fare cap that is likely to be lifted from August 31st, definitely lifting the sentiments for SpiceJet and the other airlines like Indigo, because they will now get an option to raise fares. Not good news for consumers, but definitely good news for the aviation companies as well. Now, that's exactly what the trade setup rightly looks like in the early morning trading session. We'll keep you posted with everything that develops as we move along as well. So do stay tuned on to Business Today TV and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And there's a whole lot more news on business and stock markets front that's up next for you. So don't go anywhere.